Okay, we should now be live on
We're
YouTube.
saying we're live, so
Good.
it's always a surprise for me that we're suddenly live.
Yeah, it doesn't really give you a lot of doesn't really give you a
It
lot of
does.
warning,
There's
does
a
it?
little red dot in the top corner. So
Yeah.
I've changed my view today. So I'm actually looking, and I'm not like at some weird angle like that. I can actually
Oh,
look
okay.
and see what's going on. I don't know why. I might change my whole computer system around because my screen's there, and I might move it over there. But then my lamp's in the wrong place, and I don't know where my lamp should go. And I quite like my lamp because that's the only thing that's actually lighting me in a dark room. Because it's so bloody sunny outside, I have to shut every curtains, including the red ones that are behind me that make me look like I've got a pink head.
True story, bro.
True story, bro. I haven't
Oh
done the
dear.
Kinsale triathlon, by the way. I should have changed my t-shirt actually.
Oh, okay.
Just useless information there. Talking of useless information, have you seen the two new trailers for
For
musicals that are coming out soon?
no, I have not.
West Side Story.
Ah, nice.
You know who's directing it?
No.
Steven Spielberg.
Oh wow.
So Steven Spielberg's doing West Side Story. Actually looks amazing. There's a bit where the Jets and I can never remember the other one,
Shark.
sharks come in at two different areas in a warehouse, and there's this over top view of just the shadow, of just their shadows. Absolutely phenomenal.
Do you know what? I think I
Um,
might have seen that trailer actually.
and then I saw the trailer to In the Heights.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times.
That is really good. And
Yeah.
they've released the first song of the soundtrack. I know this is a motorsport podcast,
It's
but this
fine. We
is
just it doesn't
the
matter at the
YouTube.
moment. It doesn't
This is
matter at
the
the moment.
YouTube
It's fine.
bollocks, which I'm not
I'm
sure.
just trying to
I've
track.
said bollocks on YouTube.
Oh no, it's fine.
There we go. I've got to find a way of not swearing.
Yeah. Sorry, you just got to have to fill for time for the moment because I'm still looking for the I'm still looking
I've
for the
still
live
got to
stream
fill for
link.
time. I thought I was
Yeah.
already filling time by talking about
Yeah.
musicals. Not that there's nothing going on. Our backgrounds don't suggest
No,
there's
they
anything
don't
going
mean
on.
anything at all.
No,
No.
no, no. I mean,
Right.
I don't know which side I am, but look up there on Tom's. Oh God, this is the problem with this phasing. Look up there. It
Come
says,
on.
or
Why
look up
isn't
there. It
it?
depends on which way I am on your computer. It could be either of these, but there's nothing to see here. So I've gone for the subtle version. Tom's gone for the
Hello. Look
yeah.
at us.
Hello, look at my balls.
We're
That's
sponsored by
literally
Manscaped.
yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
As
Um,
is most podcasts at the moment, but that's fine.
yeah, they seem to be on a bit of a run with
Yeah,
podcasts.
I
Does
liked
this make
Manscaped
we're
before they were
now
cool.
influencers? Have we
Does
hit
not.
the influencers? Do you know what influencers remind me of? Weirdly, nothing to do with Instagram or anything. Have you ever seen The Circle?
The Circle.
Yeah.
No.
It's like a TV program on Channel 4 and on Netflix now. And it's a social they put 8 people into a block of flats in Salford. Even though the American one, they try and make it look like it's in Atlanta, actually in Salford. Sorry, Netflix, just ruined the illusion there. They do all these aerial shots. And the UK one on Channel 4, they do all these aerial shots of Salford. They do Man U's ground, Old Trafford, and things like that. Actually, might be in is it City? What's City's? Stadium of Light or something, isn't it?
City is City of Manchester Stadium. Sunderland is a Stadium of Light.
Oh, right. Okay, City of Manchester Stadium. And they do these rings around it, make it look quite cool, and make Manchester look cool. Well done, well done, Channel 4 for that one. But then in the American one, they do the same thing but with Atlanta, and they've got these I don't know where it is in Atlanta. I'd love to find it. There's this, you know that in America they have the water towers on top of buildings.
Yeah. For
They've got
gravity fed
this water,
systems.
huh?
Gravity fed systems.
Yeah, they've got this water tower that's completely stained glass all the way around. It's really cool. So anyway, they're showing this image of Atlanta. I think it's Atlanta. I'm sure it is. And all these sort of other sort of circles within Atlanta. And then they cut to a shot of this flats in Salford. It's just like, yeah, guys, well done. It doesn't really work when you look at the cross and there's blatantly English architecture and it looks nothing like Atlanta there. Anyway, so this program they do this thing called and it's called The Circle, and they put 8 people in 8 different apartments in this thing, and they can only talk to each other via this thing called The Circle, which is basically Facebook. And you put up pictures and you put up things, and then they throw spanners into the works. There's about 3 or 4 of them are always catfish. 3 are playing themselves, and 1's playing a version of themselves. And it's really good. It's real crap TV, but it's really clever crap TV. It's not Love Island, although Love Island's coming back in June. Important information there.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
It really is.
So,
you watching Line of Duty.
Line of Duty is amazing. I'm sorry, it's really good. I love Line of Duty.
What am I watching at the moment? Oh, I put on The One.
The One?
I mean, The One. It's called The One.
From The Matrix or something?
No, that's Neo. That's
but he's the one.
Yeah, right. No, The One. It's I don't know what it's trying to be. Right, the concept is that a company has created a genetic system where they can tell you who you're genetically going to be matched with.
Right.
And you sign up to it, and they genetically tell you who you're going to marry or be with, and who the one is. But then in it, they've put
is that
this
not
massive...
just India?
Well, range marriage, yeah. So but it's sort of like you take genetics of your hair and you send it off. Anyway, that premise is quite cool, and you could have done a lot of interesting things with it. No, they've put a murder mystery into it as to who died. The actress is absolutely crap. The dialogue is the worst I've ever written. I wish I wrote it. I would have written something 10 times better. But it's so badly written. It's like so forced, and it's just the worst script I've ever heard. But for some reason, I'm still watching it. It's on Netflix. I'm on episode 3 now. I don't know quite why I'm watching it.
Excellent.
Anyway, have I gone on enough?
Yeah, you're fine. We're good to go now. I've tweeted out the links.
I feel like we should probably talk about something more interesting. But I can never think of that's something more motorsport related. But I can never think of anything that's not going to appear in the show that we pre-planned.
Yeah, we should pre-plan a little bit more. Even if we just talk about musicals.
You just let me talk. That's the problem.
Yeah, we could even just talk about musicals or something. It's fine. We'll riff something out. We'll work something out in the next for the next one. Try and make these pre-shows a little bit more exciting while I'm emailing out links and stuff. Yeah. So should we go straight into the podcast?
Yes.
Then?
The in-laws just went like that to me. I'm getting tea. It's coming in.
I haven't had time to make a cup of coffee yet. I'm going to see if we can get one.
I got an iced coffee from the wife before I started, and now the mother-in-law's going to...
We might be having an interval in this podcast today because we've got Charlie coming on later on.
He's coming on in half an hour. I'm sure we can fill half an hour of crap.
Maybe. Well, I don't know.
Although he's going to crash straight into the live. Charlie, be warned.
Yeah, by the way, you're live.
By the way, you're live. Please do not swear. Oh, crap. Carl's sworn 10 times already.
Yeah, I might send him a text while we're doing this just to say, by the way, when you log on, you will be live.
You'll be crashing into a live, yeah. There we go. There's a bit of music.
Just had to get it in. I haven't played it for a while.
Oh, my God. Sorry, Tom. Bless you. I watched the live version with Phil last time.
It's all right, wasn't it? It's fun.
It was really good, but bless you. Bless Phil. I can't hear what you're saying. All right. See, with the music, it didn't happen on the live. Bless him.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, Phil.
Yeah.
Bless you.
No, it's fine. I hadn't shared my audio, so that was completely on me. Anyway, let's start the show.
How was it without me?
It was weird.
Was it?
It was weird. It's very strange.
Going solo.
Yeah.
I actually forgot that you were doing it. I was like, oh crap. I didn't actually look at it. I did watch it, but I was like,
fine, don't worry. This is what people tune in for.
What?
This uncensored content. This is what people come for. Right, what am I saying at the start again? I can't remember.
Welcome to the Monkeyseat. That's how it goes. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Amazing. Thank you, Kitty.
Hitchcock with a big one.
Big
one.
Winning. Absolutely winning. Meow.
Welcome to the Monkeyseat. This week we're going to get 2/3 through the podcast, then not bother in that really rubbish podcast. You know the one we mean, because it's going to finish up for us. My name is Tom.
And I'm Carl, and I have no idea what Tom, Karen Chandrick, or the formerly FIA battery fiasco are on about.
Yeah, more on that later. Without a
I have
doubt.
no idea what you're on about, though, Tom. You're going to have to explain that to me in a minute.
Don't worry.
Anyway.
We are a fully independent podcast hosted by two opinionated friends who like to put the world to rights.
You can find some major podcasting platforms by searching for Monkeyseat Podcast.
And you can leave us a 5-star review to get a shout out on the show, or you can visit our website at monkeyseatpod.com.
And you can follow us on all the socials, Monkeyseat Pod. Visit our YouTube channel and catch up with us on LinkedIn. And if you want to sponsor us and give us lots of money, nothing to see here.
No, they're not giving us money though.
They're not giving us money.
No,
we wish they were giving us money, but they're not.
Well, it depends. If everyone buys loads and loads of stuff, I'm just going to move the microphone down a little bit. It's a bit too close. If they buy loads, if our listeners buy loads and loads of stuff, then they might give us money. So yes, buy lots.
So
of
this is sort of a win-win situation, isn't it? If they give us, if you buy the product, which is a very good product, if you buy that product, which is obviously what it is. Although I do feel like we're losing half the nation by being sponsored by this company.
Maybe.
It's fine. Is there a women's state as well? I suppose.
There's lots of female products out there anyway. This caters to a whole different market. So anyway, should we? Because
we're lads.
Should we go straight into as we've kind of already segued into it? Let's go into our advert, shall we?
Okay. We're jumping. We're jumping. Here we go.
We have to announce that this is obviously a sponsored advert.
This is an ad. Everyone, this is an ad.
This is an advert.
This is an advert. Just in case you hadn't not noticed, this is an advert.
If you're,
have I said it enough yet?
If you're like me and you've been forced by your better half to sort out the mess in the garden all through lockdown, then
just start that again.
Yeah, you can tell we haven't rehearsed this.
Well, we did. Ironically, we did.
Once, yeah. But it's fine. But basically,
right, okay, here we go again. Adverts. Advert.
It's an ad.
Advert.
So,
woo, woo, woo.
If you're like me and you've been forced by your better half to finally sort out that mess of a garden through lockdown, then you're probably sick of gardening by now. But it's about the summer year that now it is lovely weather for it. But it's about now we need to start looking after the man garden again. Give us a little bit of a little bit of man time, you know.
Support for the Monkey Seat is brought to you by Manscaped, who claim to be the best in men's below the waist grooming. Manscaped is now available in Europe, and they were kind enough to send us a bunch of products to try.
They've asked us to give our honest opinions on this, and I think they're great.
First up, the lawnmower. Our third generation trimmer features a cutting edge. I see what that should be, cutting edge. The third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents and keep your lower areas smooth. It's
completely waterproof too, so taking it in the shower is a big plus for me, so I don't get hair everywhere. It keeps the missus happy. She can't stand it when I do that. I've also tried the Crop Preserver, which is deodorant for your balls.
I mean, where did they come up with these names?
I know. I was apprehensive about it because when I was a kid, you know, you'd come out the shower and you'd spray your balls with the Lynx, you know, and think, oh yeah, and then my God, the pain. It was like Grosjean in a desert. Not good. But yeah, this was great. Lovely soothing balm, not painful at all.
And as part of our agreement with Manscaped, we can offer all our Monkey Seat fans 20% off and free shipping. Use the code MONKEY, use the code MONKEY, MONKEY at manscaped.com.
So not only are you getting a great saving on some premium products, but you're helping us too. I can't recommend these products enough, and the more you buy, the better we look. So don't forget 20% off and free shipping with
might get paid, and I might get a mic.
You might do.
That actually works. I can't afford a mic at the moment because of the sodding house.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Did that last a minute? Have we done it? By Manscaped. We're not going to deny. We want you to buy Manscaped because they've got great products, but also because they might sponsor us properly. And that would be really great because then I can get better audio. Or if anyone else wants to give us a better microphone, or just send me a microphone. It's me that's having the problems here.
We will sell.
Tom's got a decent mic, although Tom has suddenly realised what it says on his microphone stand the other day after sitting there using the microphone, Sam, for the last 3 months. Is it?
Yeah.
What's it say, Tom?
It says monkey.
It says monkey. Yeah. Tom just realised the microphone stand that he uses says monkey.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
because
could
it's a cheap
really-
one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a cheap one. So
Um,
the
but
microphone's decent, but the stand is a cheap one.
please go and buy stuff from that company
Yeah.
that's here called Manscaped.
Yes,
Um,
your balls
so-
will thank you.
and probably everywhere else. Probably
Yeah.
your missus will thank you more, but
Yeah.
anyway.
It's actually a decent beard trimmer too. Just make sure you clean it before. It's like, oh,
I don't know how you know it's a decent beard trimmer because you obviously haven't shaved with it.
no, I haven't. No, it's got a guard on it, so it takes it right down to stubble level. But I do know people that have used the
or
product for
pubescent
trimming the
level
beard.
in my case.
Yeah. But to be honest, yeah, your beards are not particularly impressive. Anyway,
Right, can we
so-
stop talking about balls because I'm
Yeah.
slightly bored of it, and let's talk about some racing.
Okay.
Monkey seat.
Monkey
No,
seat?
not monkey seat. IndyCar.
IndyCar.
IndyCar. Well, hang on. No, let's talk about some other podcasts first because
Oh yes,
we
yes.
got Tom did some undercover
some covert advertising.
covert advertising of ourselves.
So just to qualify this, there's a Formula One podcast that I absolutely love called For Formula One's Sake, and
Here we go, promoting other podcasts on our
yeah.
podcast, which
It
we seem
is-
to do a lot.
It is brilliant. It's very funny. I disagree with a lot of their opinions. They're not the most cutting edge opinion wise.
Neither are we. Neither am I. Let's be honest.
But, like a lot, often like their race reviews don't come out until like the Friday, and to be honest, they don't really do race reviews. They just talk about things around F1 and then just take the piss out of them. Oh no, I swore on YouTube. But anyway, they've got a feature which is where you can buy them beer.
Do you actually have to buy them beer though?
Well, the thing is, it started because they used, when they first started, they would always record their podcast in a pub. Literally in a pub. Like, there would be loads of background noise.
So what they did, hang on, what they've done is listen to Radio X and go, I've got a great idea. Let's do a pubcast. Oh, and you can buy us beer. Hang on, where did we get that from? Radio X. That's what they used to do.
Don't know. I've
You
never
used to,
listened
you
Radio
could,
X.
I mean, since moving to Ireland, I haven't listened to Radio X, but Chris Moore's show in the morning, you had to buy them beer.
Oh, okay. So it's
And
basically they've just done that then.
Yeah. So original
That's it.
content there, guys.
But
Sorry.
anyway, so I bought them a beer. I bought them each a beer. With
what?
Just with actual money. You go on their website.
You actually paid
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah. So I go onto the website and you click to buy them beer, and then you pay for a beer, and then you put a message there, and then they read the message out on their podcast. And so I
You
did that. Oh,
paid them beer money. How much is a beer in wherever they're from?
it's like £3.60 a pint, so it's about a tenner. So
A
anyway,
tenner!
something like that. So I bought them each a beer and said, "Oh, if I buy you all a beer, can you like plug my podcast because I love you guys." And this is the response I got.
I will not promote a Formula One podcast called Monkeyseat.
No, if you think we're going to promote...
Do not
the
listen to Monkeyseat.
No, if you think we're going to promote the Monkeyseat podcast just because you've bought us beer to promote the Monkeyseat podcast, which I assume is available on all good podcast providers, then
Correct.
keep coming. You know, we can't...
I
just
bet it's
be
one of those
bored
f***ing professional podcasts.
It fucking isn't. Oh, I've sworn again.
with what they're talking about.
Monkey like.
Correct.
We've given
Absolutely correct.
Yeah. I think that may have been slightly quiet, but yeah, I'll probably put that up on the socials at some point because that's just hilarious. But yeah, I actually, because I knew we'd be sending this out on YouTube, I actually bleeped their swear words.
They believe their own swear
Well,
words.
they bleeped the second one because monkey C word is not really a good one to to put out. But the first one, they didn't bleep. I bleeped that one out for them.
And then I swore all over it anyway. So
Exactly.
brilliant. Well done, Tom.
Great,
Well done.
thanks for that, Carl. So yeah, so that's that little bit out the way. Thanks a lot for that.
I mean,
did
you
email
paid them. I'm not quite sure
Yeah.
why you're thanking them.
Yeah, but
If they
get a
gave
lot.
it to us for free, then that would be a different. If they cared
Yeah.
and listened to our podcast, then
They actually plugged it again later in the podcast. They were
Oh, did
talking
they?
about the cake tins on the which is what obviously the brake ducts are surrounded in, but they were calling it the biscuit tin because they didn't know what it was called. And then they're saying, oh, they also got the tea tray at the back, and then one of them said, oh yeah, and the monkey seat, and then the other one goes, oh no, don't go plugging that podcast. Not I don't do that out of the beer section. So yeah, very funny. But I do actually strongly recommend you listen to that podcast. Very funny.
It is a very good podcast.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's very good. But
Yeah.
I didn't realise you actually had to pay for the beers. I hadn't quite realised.
I did email them asking for their permission to actually use that clip. They haven't responded, so I assume it's okay. But
sorry.
Fortunately, I'm very close to somebody who used to work and still works in a certain area which involves like intellectual property and all that kind of stuff. And I've made every possible attempt to contact them, and they haven't responded. So therefore, I'm covered. So you can't sue me, guys. Sorry.
For more beer money than we paid them. You've paid them. I don't know.
To be honest,
we are trying to get people to go and buy products from Manscaped, so that we might be able to afford a better microphone for me. And in reality, I
like supporting stuff that I like, and I've got no problem putting money into a podcast that I enjoy. So I've bought them a beer.
And if anyone wants to support us and send us,
do you know? I was thinking
money,
we might do something like that. Do like a buy as a coffee thing, because you can get those buy as a coffee sites, can't you? So we might do something like that, like a tipping jar or something. Would be quite nice, because people, if they enjoy it and they want to give us a bit of money just to go towards the upkeep, because we do this on a shoestring. It's
a shoestring's not even like we do it on. No, what we do it on Tom's purse strings.
Basically, yeah.
And they're very tight.
But fortunately, I do a lot of work in musical theatre, so a lot of the stuff that I buy for this podcast can be repurposed into musical theatre. So that's fine.
Tax write-off.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this all comes under the same business. So it's all fine. It's all fine. Anyway, so
this is officially a Mime podcast, a Mime Productions podcast.
Yeah, we used to say that at the start, but then no one knows who Mime Productions is. So what's the point in carrying on?
There we go.
Right, I'm going to do a review of Indycar now.
Do I fall asleep now?
The race in St. Petersburg. But given that I know you haven't watched the race, do you fancy just dropping a message to Charlie while I'm doing that, just saying that when he logs on, he's probably going to be live, as we started without him. So because he'll be here in about 15 minutes, just as a pre-warning for him. So yeah. Okay, so we had a race in St. Petersburg, second race of the NTT IndyCar Series for the season, and it was Colton Herta who qualified on pole, and he led from pole, followed by Jack Harvey. And the usual first corner antics at St. Pete's were avoided on lap one, with Rossi making a good start from mid-pack and then getting up into 9th. Contrasting fortunes for O'Ward when he fell from 6th to 10th, boo, which soon became 11th, boo, when Dixon barged past him shortly after. Seven-time NASCAR champ Jimmy Johnson embarrassingly overshot the chicane and nerfed the barriers. He kept the engine running, but spent an age trying to select reverse gear in the scene that was right out of Austin Powers. You know the scene I'm on about where he's stuck in the hallway.
Where he goes over the roof.
No, he's stuck in the hallway trying to turn the golf cart around, and he can't. Yeah. It was a bit like that, except he couldn't engage reverse. He eventually got
just
going.
bashing the wall.
Basically, yeah, he was constantly trying to engage reverse and just kept driving forwards. He eventually got going 4 laps down after being towed out of the wall by a tow truck. Grosjean showed everyone what he was made of by passing Will Power, but Power knocked him into the wall, and Grosjean did manage to complete the move, but clearly had a steering issue as a result, and then his pace was heavily affected for the rest of the race. Rahal and Rossi collided, and Rossi on cold tyres got a puncture. They both went into the barrier, similar to Jimmy Johnson, but they were both able to reverse out within 10 minutes, unlike Jimmy Johnson. The Mazepin of IndyCar, Jimmy Johnson, did more to damage his legacy by spinning in a straight line on cold tyres and had to spin it around again just to get back going again, and went another lap down. So, with 25 laps to go, once again, Herta's lead had been evaporated by another pace car. This time, though, Newgarden, now in second, and on Reds, had a stronger pace and a strong advantage over Colton Herta. Another yellow from Ed Jones, driving like a complete nonce, and another successful defence from Herta.
Nonce is such a great word.
Yep. The Americans won't get it. So Newgarden pushed him hard, desperately trying to get past and make it 3 in a row at St. Pete's, but Herta kept it smooth and managed to even pull out a small gap towards the end. He won from Newgarden, with Pagano finishing up the podium in 3rd. So, yeah, St. Petersburg. It's not really great.
Is that a proper track? That's not a proper track, is it?
No, it's street track. Street track. Sorry, I just knocked my mic stand there with my water bottle.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's not a permanent racetrack, but there's not many permanent racetracks on the IndyCar calendar anyway. But so we had Colton Herta winning, Newgarden second, Pagenaud third. Jack Harvey started second, had a good run, held on for fourth. Scott Dixon recovered up to fifth. Taki Sato, despite like punting people off, finished in sixth. Marcus Ericsson, good run to seventh. That's two good runs for him. Will Power finished up eighth. Rinus Vico ninth, and Sebastian Bourdais rounded up the top 10. So in the end, how far down was Jimmy Johnson? 5 laps down. He did 95 laps. Yeah. Alex Rossi was finished 2 laps down as well. He had another one to forget. And Pagenaud Ward finished 19th in the end. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Real shame. Obviously, because I'm just like massive McLaren Fossey. So, yeah.
Great. I'm sure it was a great race.
It was all right. It was okay. It's
So, I mean, how do you think Grosjean's coping on?
Do you know what? He's doing okay. He's doing the best out of the rookies, which is good. I mean, Scott McLaughlin.
I suppose he's a rookie. I definitely forget that he's not.
Well, Jimmy Johnson's a rookie and he's 45.
Welcome to IndyCar, where it all becomes a bit old.
Can you imagine, like, Lewis Hamilton?
It's like a retirement fund over there.
Can you imagine, like, Lewis Hamilton going to NASCAR in 10 years? That's what Jimmy Johnson's doing right now. 7-time NASCAR champ, going into a formula that is completely different, and he is the oldest guy in the field.
As well.
Oh, I don't think he's the oldest. I think he's probably second oldest in the field. But he's he's not. Yeah. I mean, it's an odd one, IndyCar. It's I think it's really good. I really enjoy it, and I think if you powered through it, then I think you would probably enjoy it a bit more. But I know you've got limited time, and
well, I was trying to sign up to the leagues, and for some reason I can't get into any league that I'm signed up for, which I don't understand.
Too with Darren,
which I don't understand as to I can't even get into Darren's league. I'm signed up anyway, and I can't get into Tino's one as well.
Yeah,
I need to either have a go.
Shout out to Tino Belli as well while we're here.
Yeah,
obviously head of aerodynamic development at IndyCar. He was on our podcast a few weeks back. Go back and look at his episode. Something like episode 41, 42, somewhere around there. Yeah, he's a really interesting guy. He's invited us to be in his league. It's got all kinds of big people from IndyCar in it. So
that's Tom and me.
Yeah,
hi guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I called my team Monkeysport Motorsport Podcast just to like get some.
I just called my team Monkeyseat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. You might want to change that because mine's already called Monkeyseat.
It's not. No, you can't be called Monkeyseat. They can't have the same team, can they?
I don't see why not.
My team is called Monkeyseat Motorsport.
I can't remember what I called it now, but my team in Darren's league is called Helmut Marko's Glass Eye.
I wish I knew what that means.
Helmut Marko has a glass eye.
Does he?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
But from what? Just because
because he was in Formula 1 and there was an accident, a bit of debris hit him in the face and he lost his eye.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I know who he is, but I didn't realise. There we go.
But yeah,
nothing like taking the piss out of the disabled and half blind.
Yeah.
Does he get counted as a blind?
Well,
maybe he could have a disabled card like I used to do.
Be partially sighted, wouldn't he?
I know. Do you remember the old days when I had my hearing aids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had hearing aids.
Yeah. And Carl was registered disabled.
I know. And now I'm fixed. I married my wife.
You grew out of it. You like grew new ears.
I simply grew new ears, grew a new stomach because I was celiac.
Yeah.
And what else did I grow? I'm growing out my glasses, unfortunately. They're getting worse.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I've grown out my hair. Look, this is what happens. That you can never see.
Oh, your Gorbachev.
My Gorbachev, you can never see. And then I met Tom, and I was always taking the piss out of Tom for his hair going back. And Tom actually had a haircut. I'm not allowed haircuts. We're not allowed haircuts in Ireland yet.
Mm.
We're gutted. I can't actually go out and have a haircut.
So have you actually got less hair than me now, like hairline-wise?
Look how far it's gone back.
Yeah, but if you were to shave it short, how thin would it be? Because mine is very thin on top.
Oh yeah, look at my top. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Proper ball patch going.
That's what means having 3 kids, I think.
Well, I didn't used to have grey hair until I started working in Basingstoke.
But going grey is better than going bald.
Oh yeah,
I'd love to have been a a silver
Yeah,
fox.
people have started calling him a silver fox now, which is quite cool. I actually quite like that.
That actually the best silver fox is our friend Andrew. And I remember
yes.
he wasn't a silver fox for a long time because he was trying to deny it. And he looks so much better being a silver fox. He looks great.
Shout out to Andrew.
Yes, there we go. Again, one of our theatre buddies.
Yeah.
Anyway, are we just filling in time, or is there anything else to talk about?
I mean, this is a difficult thing. It's like, because I'm not an expert in Indy, I'm going to try and get more experts to come on with IndyCar. If it's just me and Carl hasn't watched it, then I can just sit here and talk about IndyCar and say a load of names that makes Carl feel
So if you know someone...
Yeah, well, I've got a couple of people that we can lean on, but it's very difficult. I don't want to get like 3 people on for each podcast when we've got Charlie on as well, so it's difficult. But yeah, I think I'll probably try and get someone to come on more for IndyCar episodes, because I want to. We've got, I think 30% of our audience at the moment is American, and I want to make sure that I do your series justice.
And it's my fault because I don't watch it, because trying to watch Formula E, Extreme E, and Formula One is hard enough for me. Bearing in mind, this time last year, we're a year old now, are we?
We're getting on for it, yeah.
So we're not even a year old yet. But I never watched any races. I barely watched them with Tom when I lived with him, and he had them on all the time. So I think I'm doing quite well to watch really every single Formula One game race. This year I've watched every single Formula E race.
Yeah, you've done well.
And I've watched every single Extreme E so far. That's not bad. And I watched the Indy 500 last year.
You did, yeah.
So that's not bad for someone that
what
isn't...
I will say, our lovely American listeners, get in touch with us and send us your hot takes. If you want to do as a race review, send us a 2-minute race review as an audio file over on Monkeyseat Podcast.
Are we auditioning people now?
And then I'll either read out your race review if you want to send it written, or if you want to record an audio file and send it to us, I'll play your race review out and then credit you in it, and then we'll want to get you guys involved more, because as I say, I want this to be a medium for you guys and girls to get involved with the sport you love. We're broadcast media, but equally we don't have any
broadcast
experts.
Media. We sound like a bit more.
We don't have any experts on IndyCar with us here. I mean, one thing I did notice, just something that I've noticed. This is where a lot of my takes will come from IndyCar. Is that it will be me comparing it to other formulas that I know more about. And what I noticed, I saw 4 or 5 times in IndyCar at the weekend, somebody would hit someone and their front wing stayed completely in place. And it's like there were some pretty heavy hits in there. Those wings are made of strong stuff. I don't know I'm assuming they're just thicker carbon fibre, but they are strong. It's like, in Formula E, when you see cars hitting each other, and I think you commented on it saying, "Oh, well, the wings made of different stuff because they don't seem to shatter as much." Actually, it might have been Emily that said that. I think it was Emily actually.
I said it.
Did you? Oh, did you say it? Okay, but I think she said something similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing. I thought. I mean, that was down to, I think, the speeds. They're not going as fast, obviously, so the impact's not as high.
No, I commented more on. It was more the other way around. I was commenting on the Formula One on the basis that it's that anytime anything touches those cars, there is thousands of pieces over the track. Compared to, there's a smash on the Formula E, everything stops, because we have to do a safety car no matter who gets touched. Mm-hmm. And if anyone gets beached, then we're absolutely screwed. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But they'll more than happily leave sections of a wing sitting in the middle of the track.
I just don't get it at all. But those cars are, they don't just self-destruct as much. I don't know whether Formula E is designed to self-destruct, or is it buy cheap, buy twice? I don't quite know. I don't quite know about that Formula One. Ironically, Formula E and Indy, I wonder if they have paid out more and designed them to be stronger purely so they don't smash and they don't have to keep repairing the same thing over and over again. Because, I think Formula One cars are very much designed like modern cars. Like if you smashed the front of my Volvo, it would just crumple into 1,000 pieces.
Mm.
It's a bit like the safety glass that crumples into 1,000 pieces on windows in the car. Yeah. And I do wonder if it's a bit like that it's safer to take that impact, the speeds they're going. Well, in theory, the Indy cars are going slower and Formula E's
they are.
definitely
They're
going slower.
good 4 or 5 seconds slower.
And the Formula E's are going definitely slower. So I wonder if there's not as much energy that needs to be taken out, or whether it's just impacted in a different way. If I know the person that can tell me is Tino. So Tino, let us know what the difference is, because that is sort of your world, I'm guessing. And if not, you'll know a man that can. And that's the really geeky side of us that we're actually discussing. The creation. That's we try.
What we haven't done is we haven't done driver and dicker today.
Oh, go on then.
Yeah, so I'm going to give driver today to Colton Herta. I know it's boring because he's the winner, but he genuinely was under a lot. He was under a lot of pressure for that race, and he was lights to flag. I mean, apart from the short spell in the pits, he was excellent. He did really, really well, and despite constantly losing his gaps that he was building, and then Newgarden coming at him on the reds at the end on the softest compound. It's a solid result and a good bounce back after being nerfed down the first corner in the last race. And good comeback from Newgarden as well, obviously from the first race as well. Dick of the day, it's got to be Jimmy Johnson, because
Jimmy Johnson. It's got such a stupid name as well.
Yeah, I love the fact that on my notes here I've just got down Dick Johnson. Oh dear. So I'm pretty sure that Jimmy Johnson is going to be Dick of the Day quite a few times this year. He seems to not even be on the pace at all. It's such a shame. It's just damaging his legacy. Can you imagine, like, as I say, Michael Schumacher in an uncompetitive Mercedes? Yeah, okay, we can. But no, it's not. It's worse than that.
We've got Michael Schumacher in an uncompetitive Ferrari, haven't we? Although that was Mick Schumacher.
That's Mick Schumacher in a hat, yeah.
Well, which is an uncompetitive Ferrari. Isn't it? It's the Ferrari engine.
Well, it's got a Ferrari engine.
Yeah,
but
it's compared to Ferrari. It's exactly what that is. Mick Schumacher compared to Ferrari.
So quick rundown of the standings. Despite having a low points finish in the first race, Colton Herta leads on 62 points. Simon Pagenaud, Mr. Consistency, for 2 races, if you can call that consistency. He's up there second at 54. Sebastian Bourdais, good return to the series, up there at 51 points.
Was he in Formula One, or did I imagine?
He was, he's Red Bull. He was ex-Red Bull. Because there was a time when Red Bull only hired people with Sebastian in the name. Sebastian Bourdais, Sebastian Buemi and Sebastian Vettel. And then Jack Harvey 4th.
And Sebastian's the most middle-class name, isn't it, as well? So what they've done is gone, there's a middle-class rich kid. He'll do.
Yeah. But on that note...
Oh, he's entering. I've just got a text from him.
Here we go.
Is he here?
Welcome to the live stream, Mr. Charlie Horn.
He's not here. Oh, there he is. Charlie, don't swear. Don't swear, Charlie. Charlie, don't swear.
Don't swear.
Charlie, don't swear. Don't swear. Is he with us? Can we hear him? Charlie.
Hello. Yes, we've got
Hey, there's his Scottish tones.
Good to see you, mate. Right, so as I say, we are live on YouTube now. We've just done the IndyCar review, if you can call it a review, because we don't know enough about IndyCar to give it a proper review. But there we go.
Hopefully, someone knows a bit more about Formula E, and we actually watched these 2 races.
Yeah, so at least we can talk about it. And you may notice as well, we are now sponsored by Manscaped. That's for a month anyway. So
for a month, we'll see what happens.
You can get 20% off Manscaped from by using the code Monkey at checkout.
Charlie's not old enough, is he? What?
How are you, Charlie?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, yeah, good. Did you?
It's nice I can hear you this week.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All the equipment and no idea. Back to the gaming headphones.
Yeah.
Where's your green screen this week?
Oh, I'm at my mum's house this week, so
okay.
sadly just playing wall this week.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
That's cool.
Cool. So you enjoyed the racing of the weekend?
Yeah, it was good. The first one was shocking. I did not see that coming. That'll be a lot.
It was quite funny because all 3 of us watched it at separate times.
Yeah.
And then Tom's first message was, "Yeah, good luck."
Yeah.
Charlie was, "Oh, for F's sakes," and mine was like, "What the actual F?" I bet they were like 4 hours apart from each other. It was quite funny, just like as it trickled down.
I have never seen that before. That was
what the right. We'll explain. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, because after the race review. So before we start, there was obviously we're at Valencia, which is a permanent race circuit.
Yep.
Yeah, but then they might as well not been, because they put loads of random chicanes and bits in, which made no sense to me whatsoever. I mean, that was possibly the worst track I've ever seen. It was like a blind man has gone onto a track and just gone, I'm just going to park a big block of wood here. That's a good idea. Straight on the pit entrance. Oh, and we're going to do an instant right angle turn here. Oh, and another right angle turn with no space for cornering or anything. So, and then just a big pit the other side of it. I mean, it was like amateur hour, whoever designed that track. And anyway, I'm sure there's reasons.
And this week's rant is from Carl. Is sponsored by Sponsors for Racing. I'm definitely Sponsors for Racing are going to be sponsoring all of your rants, I think.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. There we go.
Well, every time you have a rant now, I'm going to plug Sponsors for Racing. So there we go. If you've got some spare money to throw at some kids in motorsport, then throw it on Sponsors for Racing. Sponsorsforracing.com.
There we go. But what is going on? That track. Charlie, what's going on with that track? Why did they just not have a normal racetrack?
Yeah, it's just because it's been talked about a lot, but it's because Formula E cars aren't built to handle long straights like we saw at the track, so they do usually tend to spice it up a bit with the chicane or something like that.
In the pit lane. Yeah. On the pit entrance.
I did think it was a bit strange, yeah. I did
that was just such a random... And it was straight after a corner as well, so I couldn't even quite get why that was there, that chicane. It didn't really... it wasn't like they were splitting up the straight. It just was like, oh... It just gave the safety car something to go around as well. Which
also, it didn't strike me as much of an overtaking opportunity or anything. You know, it didn't seem like it spiced up the race at all. So yeah,
I didn't get it at all. Like as a track, that's
it caused
I'd rather
a lot
than
of
be in town. Yeah, I'd rather than being town. It didn't. It made no difference. It made no sense, that track at all, without using it as a proper track and just putting a load of
the questions I was going to ask you both later on. So we'll. I think if we move on, have you got race reviews?
I do, dude.
Fantastic. No timer, so in your own time.
Okay.
We're doing race 1 and then talking about it, and then race 2 and talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Cool.
I've done it separately. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. Right. So after yet another safety car start, the action got underway for round 5 in Valencia. The cars hadn't even made it round 1 lap when Lauter had already taken Buemi out of the race, and this caused the safety car to come out as his car was cleared off the track. Further hairy moments in the wet followed as Da Costa attempted anyway to hold off De Vries, Gunter and Lynn behind. A further 3 safety cars were deployed to respond to various incidents caused by the wet track, and throughout all of this, Da Costa did manage to hold his rhythm and hold on to P1. However, as the final safety car pulled into the pits and the energy reduction was applied, the extent of a massive field-wide miscalculation was revealed, with 9 drivers ending up classified, giving De Vries the win, Muller P2 and Van Dorn P3.
Right. I mean, Miller went from back to front. I don't know how he managed that. Yeah, was it Miller or Van Dorn? One of them.
Miller.
From back.
Van Dorn started at the back.
Of Miller, yeah. I just don't like... Go on, Tom, because I know you're going to have more of the rant on this one.
So, after the race in Diriyah, which is obviously the first Formula E race that I'd watched properly, I said, why do they reduce the energy after the safety car? Why don't they just let them race harder? And this is why you should make them race harder. It'd be so much better. Because if they just went straight out on track, flat out and raced, they would be out of battery in 30 minutes. So they're constantly energy saving. So if you're more efficient with your energy in the early stages of the race, and then there's a safety car, you can then use that energy as a way of benefiting later on in the race, like a strategic element to add. By just taking it away, it just seems so random.
Because if you could use the energy that was there, it would have been really interesting, because then everyone might have gone on the first or second safety car, and they would have been running out of energy anyway, which would have been interesting to see. That's more strategic. Unlike this bunch of absolute melons that decide to take it away. It's like, what is wrong with you? And when we have 5 safety cars.
It's like what you could do is you could, if you think, oh, this track is going to have lots of attrition, we're going to have lots of safety cars here, I'm going to go hell for leather at the start and then run to the position where I know I'm not going to have enough energy to finish the race, but there will be 2 or 3 safety cars. I'm going to be running 10 minutes of the race under safety car. I'll get that energy back.
I bet BMW Mini are rubbing their hands together.
Yeah, they're going to get... So much product placement.
Oh, no, we're going round. I mean, I saw more of that bloody Mini than I saw the actual and half the track, half the teams on the track.
19 minutes it was out there, out of 45.
Yeah.
19
So
minutes.
it's nearly half the race.
Yeah.
That is insane, just going round in circles.
So how do we fix it, Charlie? Come on, tell us.
It's a tough one. I mean,
see, Charlie was trying to save it last time.
Yeah, I mean, there's two camps, I think. People that will blame the FIA for this and people that will blame the teams for this, because at the end of the day, you know, the energy was taken away by the FIA and it did result in most of the cars not having enough energy to finish the race. But, you know, some teams did play it fine and did calculate enough energy to finish the race. So you have to, first of all, decide who you think was at fault for, you know, half the grid running out of energy.
That's a very good point. And you go, Carl.
Has there been any ramifications in the sense of teams trying to argue the toss?
I'm sure there will have been privately with the FA. I'm sure.
But it's not been announced.
Team boss, not that I've seen. I'm sure every single team boss will have been to the stewards room.
Apart from the Merc one.
Yeah, exactly. To demand an explanation, but not that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm just it's an interesting thing because like you've got the Mercedes team played a blinder on it, to be honest, and both cars did get to the end there, and so it shows that they did manage their energy properly. But to have, like as you say, 9 cars not classified. I mean, there were cars that were basically on like 0.1% energy at the start of the last lap. It's like that's never going to work.
Exactly.
So it just.
Well, it was a bit weird that last lap as well, and I don't know. I don't know whether Da Costa screwed himself over as well because he was going really slow, and whether that was using more. I couldn't work out whether that was using more energy or whether he knew he was going, or whether he knew he hadn't got enough energy, so that's why he was going around to the line. Because they were talking about the commentators who seemingly had no idea. I mean, why Karen Chandrock was there, I literally have no idea. He's useless on the F1, Sky F1, let alone on Formula E. And he knows nothing about Formula E. The man literally admits to knowing nothing about Formula E.
He has raced in Formula E.
Even though he was raced in Formula E.
I mean, but he still had no idea. He admitted at one point. He turned around to the presenter and was like, oh, is that something that happens?
I heard someone say once, it was on social media somewhere, they said never has somebody who has had such a poor racing career managed to create such a post career, like because he's had like he's commentated for like BBC, Channel 4, Sky, on Formula 1, and now he's doing like lead commentary for Formula E, and it's like the guy has done like 8 races in Formula 1 and he was terrible.
At least Paul di Resta had actually raced and done a load of stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
But he's like even look at Dario Franchitti though. He's never raced in Formula E. Well, not to my knowledge, I don't think he has because he retired.
No.
But he's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Murray Walker didn't ever.
Chandok doesn't seem to have a clue.
Or did Murray Walker ever race in Formula 1? I think he did at one point.
No, he drove an F1 car. He drove a McLaren in.
He got to drive one. Yeah.
Yeah, he drove a McLaren in like. What was it, like 92 or something, I think. Oh, no, it was James Hunt. No, it's James Hunt in 86, I think it was. Sometime around there, before Senna was there. So he drove a McLaren.
There we go.
But, he never raced. He used to race bikes.
Okay. Oh, that's what he raced. So why on a permanent track, even with random roadblocks, did they start behind the safety car when it's a bit damp and they're wearing all-weather tyres?
Yeah, I think comes down to the same thing we said last week about the instant torque from the motor. I imagine that's the only reason. The only thing it comes down to just the sheer acceleration that it has on the wet. I imagine has potential to create.
So that's why they started off just to slowly build everything up, build the race up.
Because other than that, I can't see it.
The other thing that I don't get. The other thing that I don't get is why do they start 3 paces back? And then
just
move
to give
forward?
them time to warm up the tires. Just they set up the car on the grid. So instead of doing a formation lap, they just get a chance to spin up the tires just to get some heat in.
Oh, I never actually noticed that before.
They start like three sets back,
and
then
a couple of rows back, and then they just they set up the car. They work on the car and everything. They get into the car a few grid places back, and then they just spin up the tires as they go up to their grid spot.
There you go. There you go. You learn something new every day. But yeah, it was just a bit of a random finish. I don't know who would. I mean, who are we doing? Dick and Driver of the Day?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
let's do the race.
Yeah. I just want to speak about talk about Mercedes a bit more as well, because let's say Mercedes. I said last time, if it weren't for the fact that they were so crap, they would be brilliant, because they constantly screwing themselves. And I had in my notes for the start of the race, oh look, they screwed themselves again. De Vries with a 5-place grid drop and Van Dorn starting at the back due to a clerical error, and then they end up 1-3.
What was the clerical error?
They never said. It's something to do with tyres, I think. He was using a different tyre.
Basically, it was they had to type in the number of the tyre set, and they were 1 digit off or something like that. Something
so
crazy
he
like
ended up
that.
starting at the back because of that. Jesus.
But this comes back to my point on Formula One. Mercedes have no idea what they're doing in the pits. Maybe it's the same with Formula E. They literally are the most useless.
Maybe the pit crew run Mercedes EQ.
Maybe it's the same thing. It's just they have literally no idea what's going on at all. What is going on there? Rex were. I mean, somehow they pulled it back. I mean, it's a hard one to try and. I mean, he would have. De Vries would have ended up in 4th, 5th. If they hadn't, I mean, he did have a good race.
No, De Vries was running second.
He was.
Yeah.
He was pushing for the win, but just managing his energy better, wasn't he?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it was second. See that far forward.
Yeah.
So he obviously. I mean, they've obviously got some good drivers in there, or good planners.
De Vries and Van Dorn are very capable drivers.
But then even though they were cutting the power a lot. Da Costa seemed to be flying away from the DS to Gita team a lot. This, and I wonder what his power saving system was, or what he was planning on doing, because I don't think he would have even finished even without the safety cars.
I don't know. I think he would have finished, but I think the commentators were saying during the race, I think De Vries had that win in the bag probably anyway, because like you said, Da Costa was a bit down in energy. He would have had to go a lot slower than De Vries, who could have pretty much gone flat out on the final lap.
Yeah, I think he had about sort of 2 or 3% more, didn't he, at some point? So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, so if we move on to race 2, then give us your race 2 review. Okay.
Okay. So we finally had a grid start for round 6, and an unusual starting order led to lots of action heading down into turn 1, including the Neos were actually fighting pretty high up for the first couple of laps anyway. Jake Dennis was sitting on his first pole position, and none of the championship contenders were qualified in the top 10. Verne himself began a strong charge up the order, and further back, the Mercedes and Envision cars worked together to move up. Jaguar, however, couldn't quite manage such a charge.
Would have had a bad week.
And although Evans did make it to P10, he dropped like a stone in the closing stages for some unknown reason. Van Dorn also suffered a race-ending collision in the final stages. And a well-managed race kept the poleman Dennis in P1 at the flag to take his first win, with Lotter and Lynn running off the podium.
I mean, compared to the other race, this was possibly the most boring race I've seen.
Yeah, this was not a great one, I've got to say.
It was dry. It was on a big track where they did have a bit of room to move off, and it was just a bit dull. It's a bit dull.
It made me laugh.
I mean, well done for Dennis though for getting that.
Yeah, it made me laugh. Before the race, they were talking about how being in first is not where you need to be. You need to, people are going to be letting people go past them, to save fuel because you're running up front. And Chandok was comparing it to bloody cycling, and I'm just like, seriously, you're comparing it to cycling?
It is. No. As a
I understand the concept.
Myself, it is the same thing.
Well, I understand the sitting behind the peloton. I mean, that's what we're going to have to start calling it now, the peloton, aren't we? And they all sit behind each other going nowhere fast while they wait for the person in front to drag everyone forward. It just...
But I just want to have one last rant about Chandok, because his
Is
commentary.
he going to be your tick of the day?
Yeah, I think he will. I hadn't actually thought about that, but I think he probably will be. But you've got actually, I'm not sure we can look past the whole energy thing. But anyway, we'll discuss that in a minute. We'll argue about it. Like during the qualifying, he was saying, I forget which two drivers it was now, but there were two drivers going for pole in the first race. I think it was the first race, and they were. He was saying, "Oh, this lap, this lap is it's not a pole lap." It was Van Dorn when Van Dorn got pole. He was saying, "Oh, this isn't a pole lap from Van Dorn. It's too scruffy." And like he was like slightly down on the first sector. And as soon as he was down on the first sector, he was saying, "Oh yeah, he's it's a scruffy lap. Is no good and all this stuff." And then he started the second sector. He'd like got it up to back level again, or just slightly behind. And then he said, "Oh yeah, mid sector was better, but no, this is a scruffy lap, and he's trying too hard." And then he put it on pole, and then like who was it who was going for second? I can't remember who it was now. But then he was going around. He said, "Oh, this is much tidier. This is looking great," and he was nowhere near Van Dorn's time. And then he's just like, "Oh yeah, this should be pole." Nope, it wasn't. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. I know, like Dario was away racing in America. He's doing something in America, so. That's why he wasn't there, but it's just like.
Did you miss his Scottish tones?
Was there nobody better?
Isn't he Scottish? Dario's Scottish.
Yeah, he is Scottish.
Because him and Coulthard had that argument over the helmet, didn't they? Don't know if you know about that. Because they've got similar crash helmet designs. They got the Scottish flag on the top, and him and Coulthard had arguments because they both have obviously like pretty much exactly the same helmet design. So, but yeah. A little bit of very uninteresting trivia there.
Okay, so who was your driver of the day?
You want to go first, Charlie?
I'm going to say De Vries. Give it to De Vries. Yeah. Drove a strong race, yeah.
I'm going to give it to, purely because he got cheated out of it, in my opinion, Da Costa. I mean, It was a great race from the very beginning on that one. Okay, he didn't do as well in the second race, but... I think he was still... he was cheated out of it.
How did Van Dorn do in the second race? Because based on the first race, put it on pole and then got disqualified for no point, no issue of his own, and then still getting onto the podium. That would make him driver of the day for me for the first race. Where did he finish in the second race again? I can't remember.
He DNF'd, he crashed.
Oh, you DNF'd, didn't he? Was it his fault?
It was Buemi. He was on the inside of Buemi, and
Buemi again. Is he just crashed? Is he playing Crash Derby in there?
You could see it coming from a while off. It was like, oh no, he's going to crash, and sure enough.
So was it Buemi that crashed into Van Dorn, or Van Dorn?
They were both fighting, going side by side. Van Dorn on the inside into just after the attack mode activation zone. There was a bit that cut across where the normal track was.
Yeah.
It was just after that bit, and then they like turned 10. I think it would have been. And then they came together. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Still his fault. Okay. Fine. I don't know then. I quite want to give it to Jake Dennis for race 2.
Yeah, fair play on that one. Yeah. I don't think... Is there a unanimous one, though, that we can all agree on?
No.
There's no one that's obvious that's had the whole weekend.
Yeah. I think if we're looking for... if we have to go for...
The safety car, because it was out the most.
No. It led the most laps.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. I tell you what, if it's a tie between all three of us, then Charlie decides, as he's the expert. There we go.
New rules being made up as we go along.
I think definitely for the first race, De Vries was exceptional. In the second race, I think he worked really well with Van Dorn to charge through the order. Mm-hmm. I thought he was really good, but it's up to all of us. I don't mind.
Let's go with that.
If you want.
Yeah, go with De Vries.
That makes sense. He did win the first race, so.
Yeah, and did well in the second race.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he won the first race. He had the good pace and he kept the energy as well. That was
he played a decent race on that one.
Exactly.
I can't spell De Vries, but apart from that, we're doing all right.
DEVRIES.
That's how I got it. It just doesn't look right.
It never looks right.
No. Ooh. Anyway, dick of the day.
The safety car,
either Karen Chandok,
or the safety car /
power
thing / FIA. Are we really doing an FIA again? The roadblocks for me.
Lotterer?
Yeah, Lotterer. Well, yeah, in the first race anyway, he smashed into Buemi and took him out, didn't he? Second race, he was on the podium though.
Yeah, so probably can't make it him.
No.
It needs to be someone who's a consistent dick all weekend.
There's no one was driving like a dick because no one really got the chance to drive like a dick. You were either off crashing or you were just driving behind the person in front. There was no real options to be a dick either. Like because you were either you had enough space where you could get around them because you could go off slightly off track, or you were in tight little corners where you couldn't do anything anyway. Like there didn't seem to be that many overtaking possibilities to be, stupid and dickish. So I reckon it is back to our old favourite, the FIA, or the Valencia track. Full stop.
Well, again, there wasn't really any issues in a second race, was there?
No.
So I think it'd be a bit harsh.
Yeah, it's tough.
I know, but the track is just shit. That's my opinion on it. I can't believe how hard this one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
This is the hardest dick of the year. Yeah.
It's because no one was really a dick. There didn't seem to be anyone that you just went, oh, why did they do that?
Well, you know what that means then. It's got to be Karen Chandok, surely. He was a consistent dick
Yeah,
all
that's
weekend.
true, actually.
Karen Chandok.
Sold. I can't believe he actually managed that.
Excellent. Karen Chandok. Well, just a bit now. So, did you happen to watch the Indycar over the weekend, Charlie?
No, sorry.
That's fine. I didn't expect
Don't worry,
you to.
I didn't either. Don't worry.
So, we need to decide between Nick De Vries or Colton Herter for driver of the day.
De Vries.
Weekend. Yeah, go for De Vries.
And Chandok, let's be honest.
Yeah, I'll stick with it because then it's Jimmy Johnson, just because Jimmy Johnson was just rubbish. So
yeah.
No, that's fine. We'll go with that. We'll stick. So Formula E, get a clean sweep for this weekend.
Right.
So
should we do the predictions for?
No. Still some things I think we can talk about.
Go on. I've got something else.
I was just going to say. So, do we think that Formula E is right for circuit racing?
It is, but they don't just make it a circuit instead of adding bloody roadblocks into it. But no, it doesn't. It's not as exciting. It weirdly got really boring because you didn't have walls to smash into, and they could run off. And the amount of time, I mean, they ran into the gravel. They either beached themselves in the gravel because they're not used to it, or they just carried on driving and just went miles out. It was just no, it doesn't. Just keep it in the cities. If that was the whole point of it, was to be a city race circuit. And that was the thing about Formula E in the city, because it's green,
exactly,
or on strange tracks. I mean, to be honest, yes, make Formula E on racetracks. I don't mind, but you've got to put up all the rules and make it interesting, not just by putting roadblocks in.
If you ask any, whenever team principals or drivers or anything to Formula E is interviewed, they're always asked, would the series be better on a permanent racing circuit? And they always say,
hell no.
The cars aren't designed to be raced on, big circuits with big straights and everything. Mm-hmm. And turns out that's true.
It's just not as much fun. It's so. It was almost
a proper circuit, and
so all the action happened in the tight, twisty bits, didn't it?
Exactly. It turned out to be pretty disappointing. I thought this would be a fantastic race, but
the second race was so boring, purely because there was nothing really going on, and even the presenters were trying to make it sound exciting, and I lost the will on it, Mm-hmm. And the only reason the first race was exciting was the power, the crazy power end,
exactly,
and the fact there and the rain, and they were just trying to get used to it, but it was just a bit like it was one of those ones. I really just didn't quite get it. I think it. Oh, hello.
Ooh, hello.
Sorry, I moved my laptop forward, and I was like, oh, I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I just don't get it at all. It should stay on the city. That's where it's best placed, and that's where it should stay.
So next up then is Monaco, isn't it?
As nudes, yeah.
That's going to be fun.
In the principality, as they were saying. Who was that? That was
Formula 1 track.
Dennis or someone.
So there's still no word on whether it's going to be cancelled or not. So I reckon that's looking pretty strong that it's actually going to happen.
I would say so. Yeah, I hope so.
And who knows? They'll probably end up with fans because rules don't apply to rich people. So we'll probably end up.
Well, to be honest, it's hard to deal with that anyway, because a lot of and there might stadiums might not be empty, but all the houses nearby are going to be packed, aren't they?
Yeah, and there'll be rich people on the yachts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
So it's not as if. So it'd be interesting. I think it'd be interesting to see them on a Formula One track in the town as well.
It'd be interesting to see the direct comparison between Formula One and Formula E.
And what are they going to put any more roadblocks in this time?
Not from what I've seen. No, I think
it's just Sandoval's
chicane taken out. Yeah, it's just more of a.
So they've actually taken out a chicane, so they're putting one in.
Exactly, it's so just more of a sweeping corner.
Where's that chicane? Is that down by the?
It's on the pit exit.
Yeah,
because at the moment they got the pit exit and they got a chicane in there to allow the cars to feed in. So are they just going to let them crash? Oh, because there's no pit stops.
No, there's no pit stops.
Yeah, no pit stops.
There's no pit stops.
Yeah,
so
okay, yeah,
they don't need to worry about it as much.
Might actually see some overtaking on the way up the hill then.
Yeah, you could actually, because that's a lovely bend, isn't it? That goes up left-handed.
It's quite narrow, but the cars are nice and narrow, so they should be able to go side by side up there.
But then they get to the top and then they turn right and go down the hill again, don't
they? They turn left, but if they turn right, they'll kind of
go into.
They go right, don't they?
No, they turn left. They turn right at Sandoval, go up the hill, bear to the left, and they got a hard left, hard right.
Maybe it's not hard right, and then they go down to the.
And then they go down the hill into what was the Lowe's hairpin, and then back round. A hard double right-hander into the tunnel, down to the swimming pool, quick left-right, sweep round to the left, and then quick right-left, and then it's the Rascasse double right-hander into the start-finish straight. Not that I know that track. But...
Someone doesn't know that track. Weirdly, that's the only track
I've raced that track
around.
Far too much on Formula One racing.
So that's what I was trying to think of it. That's what I was thinking. It's a horrid track. I can never do it.
I love racing it. I love racing it. Although I hate it when podcasts try and relate like iRacing and video games to the real thing, because it's not the real thing. No. So we're not doing that on this podcast. I refuse to do it on this podcast. That's the only.
Well, we're not going to join some e-racing.
Yeah.
Championship.
Yeah. Come and join the Monkeyseat e-racing league, and then
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and
then you know what? I was looking at the chairs and the systems with the big screens that go around.
Having just said we're not going to talk about video games, have you got a rig, Charlie?
Yes, I do. My dad.
Why? Of course you do.
Pedals and everything. Yep.
You have one, don't you, Tom?
I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. I've got one.
I haven't actually seen it yet. I haven't actually seen it.
I sent you a video of it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I sent you a video of it when we were all playing it on my birthday last year, and you were like, "Haha, you're not here."
Oh, thanks.
Because you're locked down in Ireland.
Next time I'm over for your wedding, I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to convince the missus that we probably need one in our snug or the library.
Definitely.
Yeah. We've got too many rooms in our we're building our new house. We've got too many rooms.
First world problems. I've got too many rooms.
Well, we were going to have it as an office, but then I got a sea container and stuck loads and did all that, and I was like, this will make a great office. I want this to be my office, and it's away from the kids, and it'd be great. So now we have a room that was meant to be the office that's now not the office. So I've decided I'm going to call it the library.
Right. Do you have any books in there, or is it just being called that?
I think I don't know. I need to either buy loads of fake random books, or actually buy loads of random books. But yeah, I'm going to call it a library. Anyway, first world problems there. But I think I should put a rig in there as well, or in the snug. Yeah. It's either one or the other.
Cool. So have you got the standings to hand at all, Charlie?
2 seconds. I've got my iPad right here. I'll just grab them.
Cool. I think we should just run through the standings. See where Jaguar are now.
Awkward.
Start of the season, I think we set our allegiances or who we thought was going to win. Obviously, Charlie was Jaguar. Carl, you were DS to Cheetah, and I was Mercedes.
Yeah. Don't be too smug there.
Where are we? Results. We'll do the driver standings first. We've got So P1, De Vries 57 points. P2, Van Dorn 48. Bird P3 43, Friends P4 43. So just by virtue of finishes, Bird's got a win, obviously. P5 Evans 39, P6 Ras 39, P7 Vern 33, Dennis 8 33, Mortara 9 32, Verline 10 32.
I can't believe Mortara's still like ninth. He's like one that's really impressed me this year, and he's like way back down in ninth.
Miller 11th, 30. Roland 12th, 27. Sims 13th, 24th. DaCosta, reigning champion. DaCosta 14th, 24
Yeah, all
points.
right. Yeah, all right. I'm getting the hint.
Rub it in.
15 Lynn, 21, 16 Lauter, 18, 17 Cassidy, 15, 18 Turvey, 13, 19 Degrassi, 13, 20,
Degrassi.
20, oh, sorry, 20 City Camera, 12, 21 Gunter, 12, 22 Bohemi, 11, 23 Nato, 11, and 24 Blomqvist with 5.
So we've got a full calendar now, haven't we?
We're doing dudes. Yeah.
All double headers apart from Monaco. So we've only got what is it, six rounds, but with 5 double headers.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we've had 7, 8 rounds. Sorry. So we've had Diria and Rome, and obviously we've had now Valencia. So next up we've got Monaco, which is just the one, but then it's not until the 20th of June will be the next one. Which is Mexico. Is that right?
It's ages away. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, so Monaco on the 9th of May, and then it's the 20th of June. So, yeah, got a month off, basically, just over. That's a double header. And then we're up to New York City, Ypres, on 10th and 11th of July. So, another couple of weeks off there. And then we're on to the London Ypres on the 24th and 25th of July. And
Are they doing it round the Nightingale again? Sorry, the XL.
They haven't announced it yet, I don't think, have they? I don't think so.
I haven't seen an announcement on it.
Because that's where it was, wasn't it?
That's where it's meant to be, yeah.
And then we finish in Berlin with a double header again on the 14th and 15th.
Are they going back on the airport?
Yeah,
I
imagine so. They haven't announced it, but I imagine it will be, yeah.
So
can we not do the same track? I quite liked it when they did the 6 in Berlin because we did different tracks and it was quite cool. But
do different tracks? Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Or even reverse it. They managed to reverse it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The London Ypres interesting. I think if they have fans, I might see if I can get to that.
Yeah, definitely. I was meant to go to the one
last
year, but
24th and 25th of July.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm working.
Oh, I think I'm away.
I'll keep the calendar clear.
Yeah,
I'll make sure to be there.
I'm working.
I think I'm away on a boat.
Oh, you're doing the Norfolk Broads.
I'm on a boat in the Norfolk Broads. I think that's the day we go away. So we might not even have a pod. We probably won't have a podcast that week. We'll probably do. Oh my god, that means we'll be having Formula 1, Formula 3, W Series, and Formula E.
The following week.
Yeah, on the 1st of August. Well, it'll be the 2nd of August. Probably it'll probably be the Monday or the Tuesday rather. But
because I'm shooting July. But anyway, we'll see.
Great.
When I'm shooting, I mean filming. I'm not suddenly become really middle class.
Yeah.
Upper class and start shooting things.
It's a shame. It would have been good to do like a live broadcast of the monkey seat from the paddock. But.
Yeah.
We'll do it next year. That's right. We need to plan it. Well, hopefully next year's calendar will be a bit more set before we start, and then we can actually plan our lives around these things. Because I'd love to do one in Formula E. Yeah. And I'd love to do one on Formula 1. Talking about Formula 1, has anyone seen the breaking news?
Nope, go on. Give us the breaking news. Hang on, I need a breaking news bumper. This will do. There we go. Right.
Breaking news. Spring qualifying to debut at 3 Grand Prix in 2021 following unanimous agreements from teams.
Which qualifying? Sprint qualifying.
Sprint qualifying. Okay. So that now means that they are going on the Friday. They don't say which 3 races this is. 2 are European and 1's international. Right. But they don't tell you which races they are at the moment.
So was that this season?
2021.
Yeah. No, I thought we already knew that.
We did, but they've now agreed it. That was the discussion, but we still don't know where they are officially.
So we've now signed a form that says that we have actually agreed it.
Yeah.
So the
rules are... So now the format is that we're going to be sprint qualifying. On Friday, we're going to have a 60-minute practice in the morning on 2 sets of tyres for the teams to choose freely. Then normal qualifying format in the afternoon, but they can only use soft tyres. And where they have 5 sets. I don't quite know why they're going to go through 5 sets in one qualifying. Maybe I'm confused by that. And then on six.
Well, yeah, they would because they got Q1, Q2, and Q3, and they'll do 2 runs in each session, won't they?
So they change tyres every time.
Well, yeah, they do now.
All right, didn't really
Yeah.
notice that. And then Saturday, second free practice in the morning with 1 set of tyres for the teams to choose freely. So they've got to do 60 minutes on 1 set of tyres.
Mhm.
Then in the afternoon is the 100k sprint qualifying with 2 sets of tyres for teams to choose freely.
Okay, so they get to choose between like
Hards
softs or
and
hard.
mediums.
Yeah,
And
so it'd be like
softs and mediums.
return to the prime and option.
You're
what they used to do
not going to
before.
go with softs and hards, are you? So the mediums will
Right.
always get used.
Yeah, it'd be the medium and hard probably, I'd imagine.
And then a full distance of the 2 remaining sets of tyres on the Sunday.
Okay, I think we need to delve into that a little bit deeper and then do a bit more on it next week. I think.
Yeah.
So we've got
Just been announced. So
yeah,
I'm
34 minutes ago. I just had a quick read of it while you were saying it. But we've got the Portuguese Grand Prix in Portimao this weekend. So we'll do a bit more on that. I think we'll do a bit of we'll cover that a bit more next week because that's really interesting. I think the races they're on about doing it were Silverstone, Canada, which is currently obviously in jeopardy and may end up being Istanbul, and Brazil, which I don't think anyone's going to Brazil anytime soon.
So it can't. It's definitely 2 European and 1 international.
Well, there we go. Oh, yeah. So maybe they changed it then because it should.
So they can't do. Yeah. So UK.
Okay, that's Istanbul then. That's Istanbul.
So you think it's guaranteed as Istanbul?
Yeah, I think
that was quite a good track, wasn't it, Istanbul?
Yeah, it is. It's great.
That's Turkey. Yeah.
It's either Istanbul or Nürburgring, I think. Either way, it's a European one. So
yeah.
I reckon that's what it'll be: Silverstone, Brazil, and another. But I'm not even certain we're going to be going to Brazil.
No, well, we're definitely not going to India. Not that we ever went to India.
Yeah, I wouldn't be bothered if Brazil. I think Brazil's right before Australia. So I say right before. It's 2 weeks before. So I wouldn't be too upset if Brazil got cancelled and then we end up doing like a double header in Mexico.
I doubt we'd do a double header anywhere. I don't think they'll do a double header.
I think they want 23 races, and that close to the end of the season. If a race gets cancelled that close to the end of the season, there's no other option. They can't just travel all the way back across the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if it's Brazil, if they've left Mexico and they go into Australia, they could stop off. Well, no, because they go the other way, wouldn't they? They go the other way. So
they go across the Pacific.
Oh, we could end up going back to Sochi or something.
Yeah.
Or we could,
Sochi's the wrong place.
Yeah, we could.
Wrong place.
Yeah, it's the wrong side of Russia, isn't it?
No, you'd be going. If you're going that way, you'd probably be going to. You can't do Singapore. I'm just trying to think of something that's over that way that's not street track.
I was going to say, yeah, they could go and do another one in Japan.
Is that not street track?
Nope.
And that's been assigned for the new deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Japan
would make sense. So if it does,
Japan would make sort of sense. It's the right side of the world.
Yeah.
And then drop down.
I mean, they could. I mean, it's a bit out of the way, but they could just go and do another one in Bahrain. They seem to love Bahrain.
Yeah.
I suppose with Bahrain, it's just everything's quite set and it's in the middle of sodding nowhere.
Yeah.
And it gives you option to have different tracks as well.
Yeah.
That actually work.
Yeah.
They'd probably do the short track again if they were to do that.
Shall we do?
We'll probably have a proper chat about that next week.
Yeah. Shall we do our predictions? I'll just dropping you on the chart. Do you want to do predictions for Portimao?
Sounds good.
Cool. Okay.
I like Portimao. It's a great track.
Yeah, I like it. I don't think
it's one of my favourite races last year.
Yeah, it's not going to be like loads of overtaking, but it's going to be all right.
Why was it so interesting last year?
Last year it started raining right at the start, and then you had Carlos Sainz overtaking Hamilton and Bottas to take the lead, and then Bottas screwed up, and then Hamilton got past him, and yeah, it's a good race. Okay, so we're doing winner, fastest lap, first retirement, and then random position. And oh yes, I was going to do the random position generator on the screen, wasn't I?
Yes. Can you do
that? Okay. Let's see. This is just for just for YouTube. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we will see. I'm just going to stop sharing my audio, and I'm going to share video. Okay. Bear with. Which screen is it?
Oh no! Don't do that.
That screen. Right. Can you see that?
Yep. Got
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Random.org.
Yep. Got it.
Okay, so numbers 1 to 20. It's in the championship order they finished last time. So let's generate a number. Who is going to be the random position? Number 11, which is Esteban Ocon.
Okay.
Great. One of the most anonymous people on the calendar.
Right.
Right.
So that's your random position. So hang on, I just need to share my audio again. I'm going to go for a Hamilton win. I think
agree.
I think he's really good at that track, and I just think it's going to be a Hamilton win. So I'll go for Hamilton win on that, and fastest lap, Sergio Perez.
I have a family of nutters, and currently my wife has got a feather duster and is currently rubbing my son's derriere, who's dancing as if he's twerking on the feather duster.
At least he's not licking the windows like he was the other
No,
week. Well, that was Aubrey, wasn't it?
All a bit weird. I don't know quite what's going on. This is the problem with this window here. It's all a bit weird. Welcome to my crazy house. Anyway, sorry, Tom.
Right,
to ruin your
it's fine.
predictions
So
there.
Hamilton winner, Perez fastest lap. So number 11, Esteban Ocon. I'm going to go with 8th. And first retirement, Yuki Tsunoda. Again. Because I think he's going to ram into someone. Okay. Carl, you ready?
Yeah. I'm going to go mad. Leclerc to win.
Leclerc to win. Wow. Okay.
I've gone mad.
Your loss?
It's mostly because for that second before I said it, I couldn't think of Verstappen's name. Because I've got Van Dorn in my head. I'm like, no, he's Formula E. And then Verstappen doing fastest lap.
Okay.
And first retirement. I want to say Russell. I don't know why.
Okay.
And the Ocon 7th.
7th. Okay,
Lucky number
Charlie.
7.
Okay. I say Hamilton win. I'll go Perez. Let's say for fastest lap.
Copycat.
First retirement. What should we say? Latifi.
Which of the 4 is it going to be?
I'll say
Latifi?
Latifi, just for getting out
why
there.
not?
And
Esteban
Ocon, 9th, let's say.
9th. So we've gone 7, 8, 9 for Ocon. So
Yep.
no points.
I have
So-
the least faith in him, unfortunately. Sorry if you're watching this.
Great. Okay. I think that's us.
Is that us?
I think that's us. So yeah, we will see you all next week at after Portimao for another wonderful episode of the Monkey Seat, sponsored by Manscaped. Buy Manscaped,
Manscaped.
people. Get 20% off at Manscaped.
My wife's talking to me. I've got no idea what she's saying.
Bye.
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 There's a cat tail.
Yep, the cat's just turned up.
There we go. That's ended that podcast. Right.
Yeah. Honesty
I've got to go
time.
make dinner now. Go on.
Guess who forgot to press record when Charlie came on? I've done it again. It's fine. I'll just rip it from YouTube again like I did last time.
Oh, one job, Tom.
Yeah, I know. And I've done it, like, this is the 3rd time I've done it now.
I mean, now Charlie's
I've
actually got some better
overtaken-
sound.
Yeah, I've overtaken you. It's fine. Zoom's good on sound, and it converts well to YouTube.
Zoom.
So. This cat! It's being so annoying.
Yeah, we haven't had the cat at all for the whole.
Yeah, he's been
time.
really good. Oh God, piss off!
All right, sorry. Right. Anyway, I've got to go and see my crazy
Cool.
family.
All right, that's the end of the post show then. Thank you.
Good
Bye
dinner.
YouTube.